Before we start, let me tell you children what are the relevance of square root. Square roots are important for builders, especially when they are constructing frames. It is important to be able to work out the longest side in a rectangular frame and the diagonal in a wall. Many builders use Pythagoras theorem for such purposes. For example, square roots are used by engineers, architects, those who measure and mark land, artists and designers. Hello students, today I am going to start chapter number 6 and the name of the chapter is square and square root. Now this is an introduction video in which I will discuss few important topics related to square and square root. Now what do you mean by square? Square, as you all know, that it is a four-sided figure in which length and breadth is equal. So this is length and this is breadth equal. So if this is 1 unit, then 2 3, so this is 3 unit, and 1 2 3, so this is 3 unit, then 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So if you want to count the number of boxes, see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so we have got 9. So 9 is a square number, and how we have got this square number? By multiplying the same number. So here we have multiplied 3 2 times to get the square number 9. Okay, that means to get the square of any number, we need to double the number. Like if I write 2 square, it represented as 2 raised to the power 2, which can be written as 2 multiplied by 2, which is 4. Now this 4 is a square number, and how we have got this square number? By multiplying the same number. Okay. Similarly, we can find the square of any number. Suppose if I write 4 square, then it can be written as 4 multiplied by 4, which is 16. So that means we can get any square number by multiplying the same number twice. Okay. So here 16 is a square number which we have got by multiplying 4 by 4. Okay. Now if you want to find the square of 5, then it can be written as 5 square. Okay. And it means when it is represented as 5 raised to the power 2, that means it can be written as 5 multiplied by 5, which is 25. Okay. Similarly, if you want to find the square of 25, then it will be written as 25 multiplied by 25, which is 625. So here we can get any square number by multiplying the same number. Okay. So square means we will just double the number to get the square number. Okay. Now our next topic is property of square. Okay. Here we will write the square number of 1 to 10. Now 1 square means 1 into 1, 1. 2 square means 2 into 2, 4. 3 square means 3 into 3, 9. 4 square means 4 into 4, 16. 5 square means 5 into 5, 25. 6 square means 6 into 6, 36. 7 square means 7 into 7, 49. 8 square means 8 into 8, 64. 9 square means 9 into 9, 81. 10 square means 10 into 10, 100. Okay. Now the digit at unit place. Now the digit at unit place means the digit at ones place. If I take the number say 14, the square of 14 will be, without finding the square, how will you say that? What would be the unit digit of the square of 14? See, here 4 square where it is here. 4 square means 16. Now the digit at unit place is 6. So without finding the square, we can easily say that the number will be at unit place will be 6. Now suppose if I take the number say 13, what will be the unit digit of the square of 13? See, 3 square means 9. So the digit at ones place will be 9. Okay. Now if we take the number say 25, the square of 25 will be the square of the like here what will be the unit digit of the square of 25? So 5 square, where it is here 5 square means 25, in which 5 is at unit place. So the unit digit, the digit at unit place will be 5. Now if you want to check whether you are getting the digit at unit place is 5 or not, we have to find the square of this number. So square of 25 is 25 multiplied by 25. So 5 5s are 25, 5, 2 carry, 5 2s are 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. Then 5 2s are 10, 0 1 carry, 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5, 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 1 is 6. So we have got 625, in which 5 is at unit place. So what we have seen that without finding the square of this, if you check the property of square, we can easily find the digit at unit place, right? So here the digit at unit place is 5. Now if I take the number say 42 and the square of 42, see, without finding the square of 42, if you want to find the unit digit, see here the digit, this number ends with 2. So that means if any number which ends with 2, then the square of that number will end with 4. Why? Because 2 square means 4. Now if any number say 43 and the square of 43, well, see here that since this number end with 3, then the square of this number will end with 9, because 3 square means 9. If I take the number say 4 3 2 1, since this number ends with 1, so the square of this number will also end with 1, because 1 square means 1. So in this way, without finding the square of any number, we can easily find the digit at unit place by using this property of square. Okay. Now our next topic is perfect square. Now perfect square is a number from a given number system that can be expressed as a square of a number from the same number system. Like if I take a number say 16, 16 is a square of 4. So 16 is a perfect square number. Okay. Now if I take the number say 25, 25 is a square of 5. Right? So 25 is a perfect square. That means we can get the perfect square number by multiplying the same number. Okay. So perfect square number can be expressed as the square of that number from the same number system. So here we can see that this 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, these all are perfect square number, because these numbers we have got by multiplying the same number. Right? Here like 2 square means 4, so 4 is a perfect square number. 3 square means 9, so 9 is a perfect square number. Similarly, 9 square means 81, 81 is a perfect square number. 10 square is 100, so 100 is a perfect square number. So that means if the number ends with 1, 4, 9, 6, 5, 0, then the number will be a perfect square number. If the number ends with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, then the number will be a perfect square number. Now, like if I take an example, say 4, 2, 2, 5. See here the number ends with 5. So if the number ends with 5, see 5 is the set of 5 is in this set. So that means we can say that this is a perfect square number. Right? But if I take a number say 21. Now see this 21 end with 1 and 1 is there in this set of number, 1 is there. But 21 is not a perfect square number. Now why? Because here see 4 square means 16 and 5 square means 25 and 21 comes in between this. Now we can see that in between 4 and 5 no number is there. So after 4 square means 16, after 16 next perfect square number is 25. Again after 25 next perfect square number is 36, because no number present in between 5 and 6. So that means since 21 is in between of 16 and 25, though it ends with 1, it cannot be a perfect square. So if the number ends with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, then there is a possibility of being a perfect square, but it's not necessary that it will be a perfect square. Okay, so 21 is not a perfect square, though it ends with 1. Okay, and 21 is not a square of any number, so 21 cannot be a perfect square number. Okay, now if I take an example, say one more example, say 62. Now 62 also is not a square of any number, and 62 comes in between 49 and 64, in between this. And what we can see here, like 7 square means 49 and 8 square means 64. So this 49 and 64 is a perfect square number. So, and in between 61 comes, and in between 7 and 8 no numbers is present. So that means after 49, 64 is a perfect square number. So 62 cannot be a perfect square number. So we'll write this is not a perfect square number. Okay. What we have learned now, if the number ends with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, then there is a possibility of being a perfect square. But if the number ends with 2, 3, 7, 8, then the number cannot be a perfect square. Okay. Now our next topic is finding square. Now let us take an example. Suppose we will have to find the square of 42. Okay. So these we can find by multiplying the same number twice. But the easier way to find this, we will just expand the number. So 42 can be written as 40 plus 2 and power is 2. So it is 40 plus 2 whole square. Now we have one identities, which is a plus b whole square. Now a plus b square, b whole square identity is a square plus 2 into a into b plus b square. Okay, so here this is in the form of a plus b whole square. So these we will consider as a and these we will consider as b. So at first we have a square. So a square means we have 40 here. So 40 square plus we have 2ab. So 2 into a is 40 and b is 2. Okay, then we have plus sign, so we'll put plus sign. Then we have b square. B square means 2 here, so we'll write 2 square. Now here 4 fours are 16 and 2 zeros, so we have 1600 plus 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 4, 16. So we have 160 and we have 1 0, so it's 160 plus 2 2s are 4. So 1600 plus 160 plus 4 is 4 plus 0 is 0, 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 4, 6 plus 0 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7 and 1. So 42 square will be 1764. So in this way we can find the square of any number. At first we will expand the number and then we will write it as a plus b whole square identities, and according to that we will find the square of that number. Okay. Now our next topic is Pythagorean triplet. Suppose this is our right angle triangle. Okay. In which this is 90 degree. Now opposite of 90 degree means the side opposite to 90 degree is the longest side, which is known as hypotenuse, and this is called base and this is called height. Now if I take the base as 3 units and hypotenuse as 5 units and height as 4 units, then according to Pythagoras theorem, the square of the longest side, which is 5 square, is equals to the square of base plus square of height, right? So the square of the longest one means the square of hypotenuse square is always equals to the sum of the square of base and height. So base is 3, so 3 square, base square, and height square is, height is 4, so it's 4 square. Now 5 square means 25 and here 3 square means 9 plus 4 square means 16. So 16 plus 9 is 25. Okay. That means here we can see that left hand side is equals to right hand side. That means these three numbers make Pythagorean triplet. So triplet means three members will be there. Okay. Now let's take another example. Say 6, 8 and 10. Among this, 10 is the biggest one. So here this we can consider as hypotenuse, and this is base and this is height. Okay. So as we know that according to Pythagoras theorem, we can write we can write it as hypotenuse square, which is the longest side. Okay. The side of the square of the longest side will be always equals to the square of the sum of the base and height. So it will be 6 square plus 8 square. Now see, 10 square means 10 into 10, 100, and 6 square means 36 plus 8 square means 64. And if you add 36 and 64, then you will get 6 plus 4 is 10, 0, 1 carry, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 1, 10. So here we can see that left hand side is equals to right hand side. So that means these are the three members, 6, 8, 10 are the three members of Pythagorean triplet. Okay. Now using formula, we will have to find the Pythagorean triplet. So the three members of Pythagorean triplet are 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. Now suppose one of the member is given, which is 6. And this is also one of the member of Pythagorean triplets, and this is also one of the member of Pythagorean triplets. So we can make it equal. So 2m is equals to 6. So what will be the value of m? Here 2 is multiplied by m. So the value of m will be 6 divided by 2, because after changing the side, it will be divided. Okay. So it will be 6 will be divided by 2. So 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 6. So the value of m is 3. Now here we have another member. Another 2 member is given, which is m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. Here we will have to just put the value of m to get the member. Okay, to get the second member. So value of m is 3. So here in place of m, if you put the value of m, which is 3, so it will be 3 square minus 1. So 3 square minus 1 is 9 minus 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8. Okay. And the third member is m square plus 1. So if you put the value of m here, so it will be 3 square plus 1. So 3 square means 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So the three members of Pythagorean triplet is, one is 6. This is not the member of Pythagorean triplet. This is only the value of m. Okay, the member is given already, which is 6. And the another members are 8 and 10. Okay, this 6, 8 and 10 make Pythagorean triplet. Now our next topic is square root. Now here if I take the number say 16. So what will be the square root of 16? First of all, the symbol of square root is this. Okay, now we will have to find the square root of 16. To find the square root of any number, we need to see that this number is the square of which number. Like here, 4 into 4 is 16, or 4 square means 16. That means 16 is a square of 4. So the square root of 16 will be 4. Let us take another example, which is say 25. We will have to find the square root of 25. Okay. Now, so this is the symbol of square root. The square root of 25 is, we will have to find that 25 is the square of which number. So 5 square means 25, we know that. So the square root of 25 will be 5. Okay. So in this way we can find the square root of any number. But see, here we know that 4 square is 16 or 5 square is 25. But instead of this number, if we have some bigger number, then how will you find the square root of that number? So there is 3 other ways to find the square root of any number. At first we have repeated subtraction method. Now let us find the square root of 100 by repeated subtraction method. So here we will take odd natural number to subtract this. So odd natural number starts from 1, then 3, then 5, then 7 and so on. So we will write 100 at first. Okay. Now first odd number is 1. Now 100 minus 1 is 99. Then after 1, which number comes? Which odd numbers? It's 3. So 3 will be subtracted from the number we have got now, which is 99. So 9 minus 3 is 6. Here will be 9. Now next odd number is 5. So 5 will be subtracted from the number we have got now, which is 96. So 6 minus 5 is 1 and 9 will become 9 only. 9 will remain same. Okay, after that, after 5, 7 comes. So 7 will be subtracted from 91. Now 11 minus 7 is 4. 9 will be 8. So 91 minus 7 is 84. Now our next odd number is 9, because after 7, 9 comes. So 9 will be subtracted from 84. So 14 minus 9 is 5. 8 will be 7. Okay. Now after 9, 11 comes. So 11 will be subtracted from 75, because 75 we have got now. So 5 minus 1, 4. 7 minus 1 is 6. Now 64 minus 13. 13 is the next odd number after 11. So 4 minus 3 is 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. Now after 13, 15 comes. So 11 minus 5 is 6. So 5 will be 4. 1 to 4 is 3. So we have got 36. Now 36 here minus 17. Okay. So here 16 minus 7 is 9. So 3 will be 2. 1 to 2 is 9. So we have got 19. Now 19 minus 19 is 0. Now we will have to count the number of steps here. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So after 10 steps we have got 0. So the square root of 100 is 10. So in this method, what will you do? You will have to start from the number which is given, and we will have to take all odd numbers to subtract. We will have to start with 1. Okay, and we will have to start doing subtraction. We will have to continue doing subtraction till we don't get 0. And after getting 0, we will just count the number of steps to get the square root of that particular number. Okay, so in this case, after 10 steps we have got 0, so the square root of 100 will be 10. Now our next method is prime factorization method. In this method we will find the square root. Okay, so let us take an example, say 729. So we will have to find the square root of 729, but we don't know the 729 is the square of which number. So to find that, we will have to do the prime factorization method. Okay, so here we will see, at first we will have to take the prime number, and then we will have to see that by which number 729 is divisible. So to check this, if you find the sum of the digits, 9 plus 2 is 11, 11 plus 7 is 18. So 18 comes in 3 tables, so it can be divided by 3. So 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12, 3 3s are 9. Now, if you find again the sum of the digit, will get 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. So again this is divisible by 3. So 3 8s are 24, 3 1s are 3. Now 81 is divisible by 3 because 8 plus 1 is 9. So 3 2s are 6, 3 7s are 21. Now 3 9s are 26, 3 9s are 27. Then 3 3s are 9. Then 3 1s are 3. Okay. Now we will have to find the square root of 729. So here we'll write all the numbers, all the factors which we have got as a factor of 729, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 3 we have got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this we will write under the square root. Now here we will have to make a pair of two numbers. Say 2. From these two number we'll take 1, 3. From this pair we will take 1. Again from this pair we'll take 1. So here we will have to make a pair of 2. Okay. Now here we have got 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, which is 27. So the square root of 729 will be 27. Now our last method is long division method. Using the help of long division method, we will find the square root. Okay, so let us take an example. Say we will have to find the square root of 529. Okay, by long division method. So at first we have to make a pair. So these two will make a pair, and the one which is left out, this will be considered as one pair. Now here we know that 1 into, we have to take the square number over here. So at first we will have to make a bar, we will have to make a pair by putting bar, and in the next step we will have to take the square number. So 1 multiplied by 1 is 1, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So in this way we will have to take the square number. 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. 6 multiplied by 6 is 36. 7 multiplied by 7 is 49. Now see, here we have 5. So 3 3s are 9. This we cannot take because 9 is greater than 5. So we will have to take 2 2s are 4. So 2 2s are 4. So 5 minus 4 is 1. Now these 2 and 9 is in pair, so these two will come together. Now here 2 plus 2 is 4. Now what should we take here? See, here last digit is 9, and if you see the table of this, if 3 square makes like if the last digit is 3, then we'll get 9, or if the last digit is 7, then only we'll get 9. So at first we will take 3. So if you take 3 beside 4, then if you take 3 here, then 3 should be taken to multiply. So 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12. So what we have got? We have got 129. So here we will put 3. So 43 3s are, so these 3 we will have to put 2 times here and here also. So 43 3s are 129. Okay. So the square root of 529 will be 23. Okay, let's take another example. Okay, so let us find the square root of 729 by long division method. So at first we need to make a pair. So these two will make one pair, and this one will be considered as one pair. Now here we have 7. Say 3 3s are 9. 9 is greater than 7. So we will have to take 2 2s are 4. Now 7 minus 4 is 3. Now these 2 and 9 will come down. Now 2 plus 2 is 4. Now what should we put here? Here see, last digit is 9. So either the last digit will be 3, like in the previous case we have put 3 here and 3 to multiply. And here let us check by taking 3 again. So if you take 3 again, already we have done here 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12. So we have got 129, and here we have 329. So let's take 7 here. So beside 4 we will take 7, and if you take 7 here, then we will have to take 7 also to multiply this. Always remember, like here by seeing the table we can easily find the digit at one's place. Like here we haven't multiplied by all the number, we have just checked that last digit is 9. So in this table where we are getting 9, if the last digit is 3, then we are getting 9, and if the last digit is 7, then we are getting 9. So we have checked by taking 3, and now we are checking by putting 7. So 7 sevens are 49, 9 4 carry, 4 sevens are 28, 28 plus 4 is 32. So what we have got, 47 sevens are 329. So here we have got 329. So we'll write 47 sevens are 329. Okay. So the square root of 729 is 27. Now children, I am going to ask you few questions. Now the first question is, square of an even number is an even number, an odd number, either an even or an odd numbers. Now what will be square of an even number is? Now see, if I take a number say 4. So what will be the square of this? 4 square means 4 into 4 16, which is even number. So square of even number is always an even number. Now in the next question we have, which of the following is not a perfect square? Here we have 141, 196, 127 and 2222. So we will have to find which is not a perfect square. So as we know that if the number ends with 2, 3, 7, 8, then the number cannot be a perfect square. Now we can see that this number ends with 7. So it cannot be a perfect square. Again this number ends with 2. So again this also cannot be a perfect square. Now here it is ending with 1 and here it is ending with 6. So that means there is a possibility of being a perfect square. Now we know that 12 multiplied by 12 is 144, means 144 is a perfect square number. So 141 cannot be a perfect square number because before 12 we have 11 and 11 multiplied by 11 is 121, which is a perfect square. That means after 121 we have the next perfect square number, which is 144. That means 141 also cannot be a perfect square. So the answer will be 196. Okay. Now in the third question we have, by which smallest number 90 must be multiplied so as to make it a perfect square. So that means 90 is not a perfect square number. We will have to make it a perfect square number by multiplying a smallest number. Now what should be multiplied by 90 to get a perfect square number? So we know that we have to find the prime factorization of 90 and then we will check which factors are not in pair. So according to that we will multiply that number by 90 to get a perfect square number. Okay. But here we have all the options given. So what we have to do, instead of finding prime factorization, the easier way to find this, since option is given. So here we have 90. So at first we are taking 2. Now see, 90 multiplied by 2 is 9 2s are 18 and 1 0. So we have 180 and 180 is not a perfect square number. Now if you take 5 now and if you multiply by 90, then we'll get 5 zeros are 0, 5 nines are 45. So 450 or also 450 is also not a perfect square. Now if we take 3 here, 90 multiplied by 3 is 3 zeros are 0, 3 nines are 27. So 270 is also not a perfect square. But if we take 10, see 90 multiplied by 10 is 900, which is a perfect square. So answer will be 10. Okay. So this was all about square and square root. I hope you all have understood what I have taught in this session. Now I am going to give you some questions as assignment which you will be doing at home. After that, if there is any doubt, any queries, you can always ask me. I am always there to help you out. Okay. Thank you, students.